In a forgotten corner of the world, nestled between shadowed woods and endless night, stood the old town of Turncroft. Turncroft was once teeming with life, diverging paths inviting travelers from distant lands. Yet, over the years, strange occurrences left the town deserted. On the periphery of the town, in a little clearing surrounded by ominous trees, lies the forgotten marker, an eternal sentinel of Turncroft Xi² Beta Negation Beta's greatest unease. The marker was in Xi² Beta Negation Beta T, just a signpost. It had strangely elongated limbs, a patchwork of cloth and bandages swathing its body, and a face that looked elatedly hollow. Occasionally, an orange mop of hair caught the moonlight eerily, amplifying the mannequin's hollow eyes and rotting grin. Local legend said that on certain nights, fog would rise from the trees, and the bandaged mannequin would leave the marker. It would wander the clearing, its limbs sketching silent, crude movements to the symphony of the whispered wind. On a fateful evening, when the fog crept through Turncroft again, a young girl named Elara sat in her grandmother's decrepit house, resting uneasily. Grandma Ada, with her failing sight and trembling hands, retold the story of the mannequin, cautioning Elara never to follow the fog to the clearing. But Elara was a curious soul, unyielding to the superstitions of her elders. As the fog thickened, and whispers started to rise, curiosity tugged at her heart. Clutching her lantern, Elara resolutely stepped into the mist, venturing towards the clearing. The trees seemed to close in behind her, as if guiding her path. Upon reaching the clearing, Elara found the marker standing tall and cold, but the bandaged mannequin was not there. Instead, an eerily low hum resonated from the forest, and just ahead in the distance, the mannequin swayed and twisted its way through the trees in a grotesque dance. Its body jerked into unnatural angles, limbs extending and retracting like a cruel marionette. As Elara watched from the edge, the mannequin's hollow eyes abruptly locked onto hers. Fear rooted her to the spot, but curiosity kept her silent. The mannequin waltzed closer and closer, its tattered bandages fluttering to an invisible rhythm. Just as its stretched limb was about to touch Elara, the lantern flared brightly, casting a piercing light over the entire clearing. The mannequin froze in place, its hollow eyes glistening with an almost sorrowful glint. Slowly, the fog lifted, and the dance ceased. The bandaged mannequin, caught in the light, gently brought its hands together as if in a final bow before crumbling into a heap of lifeless cloth on the forest floor. Elara backed away slowly, her hands shaking but her heart swelling with wonder. She turned and ran back to the fading lights of Turncroft, whispering the tale of the bandaged mannequin's Xi² Beta Negation Beta's ephemeral dance, a story of ending shadows. In the days that followed, the fog never returned to Turncroft. The town began to awaken from its somber slumber, and life breathed new hope into the abandoned homes. The legend of the bandaged mannequin faded, becoming a mere whisper of the old, forgotten stories. Years later, the clearing grew thick with flowers and the marker remained a silent guardian, watching over Turncroft Xi² Beta Negation Beta's prosperity, devoid of the unsettling figure that once haunted its nights. Elara grew up and often visited the clearing, a place of curiosity transformed into solace. The mannequin's legend remained, not as a tale of terror but as a beginning of brighter days for Turncroft. And so, the town reclaimed its forgotten corners, the haunting echoes fading into the past, with only Elara knowing the true dance that ended the shadows.